Welcome aboard, everybody. This is Dr. Peter Glidden with another edition of Fire Your MD Now. Check us out 24/7, of course, on the World Wide Web at fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com. If you'd like to call me today, that toll-free number, 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. That's right, 866-582-9933. Well, in the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about the fundamentals of holistic, science-based, clinically verified holistic medical nutrition. We talked about minerals. We talked about vitamins. We talked about amino acids. And today, we're talking about essential fatty acids, This is a very interesting subject, and one of Dr. Wallach's lawsuits, my colleague Dr. Wallach has sued the FDA a number of times, been involved with lawsuits with the FDA a number of times, financed 3 lawsuits with the FDA in order to secure something called a qualified health claim. And one of the qualified health claims that he was able to secure was about essential fatty acids. And it was because of Dr. Wallach's lawsuit that he did with Jonathan E. Mord. He's a very famous corporate attorney in Washington, D.C., a vitamin rights advocate, Jonathan E. Mord. It was because of this lawsuit in particular that we can say legally that essential fatty acid supplementation virtually eliminates the risk of stroke. Essential fatty acid supplementation virtually eliminates the risk of stroke. The scientific community has defined a number of fatty acids. A number of fatty acids. The most famous are omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9. The jury is out as to whether omega-9 is in fact an essential fatty acid. We know that omega-3 and omega-6 are, and these essential fatty acids are found mostly in fish oils. They're also found in some vegetable oil. In the vegetable kingdom, the best source of omega-3 and omega-6 is flax seed oil and actually hemp oil. Imagine that, hemp oil. Hemp oil would be the oil of choice if you're a vegetarian, if you just don't want to, for whatever reason, ingest fish oil or animal products into your body. Then hemp oil would be preferable to borage oil. It would be preferable to flaxseed oil. That's right, hemp, made from the good old marijuana plant. Whether it's the hallucinogenic brand or the non-hallucinogenic brand, the essential fatty acid component is the same. The EFA from the hemp plant is fantastic, and you can buy that over the counter if you're, of a vegetarian ilk. However, we must be careful when supplementing with essential fatty acids, because they are oils, and oils will oxidize, and I'll talk more about that in a second. Now, omega-3 and omega-6. Omega-6 has gotten a big bad rap in this country in the last few years because one of the things that happens if there's too much omega-6 in your body is that it will, in fact, create inflammation in your body. Now, look, you can overdo it with anything, right? You can overdo it with water. You can overdo it with oxygen. You can certainly overdo it with prescription medication. Too much of anything is a bad thing, and usually with vitamins and nutritional supplements, you have to take, like a superhuman amount in order for it to be too much. The thing about omega-6 is that there's so much omega-6 anyway in the standard American diet that on a relative scale of things, most people have too much omega-6 in their diet or in their body, not because they're supplementing, but just because they're eating all the wrong foods all the time. And they're not offsetting the too much omega-6 with omega-3. Because remember, with nutritional supplements, it is all about the balance. It is all about the recipe. So even if there is, quote-unquote, too much omega-6 in your diet, it can be offset by adequate amounts of omega-3. See how that works? Now, what we don't talk about enough is the benefits of omega-6, because omega-6 is a very, number one, it's an essential fatty acid, and the benefits of proper amounts of omega-6 are tissue repair. Omega-6 is one of the main ingredients, along with protein, that your body uses to repair itself, to maintain itself, and to help recover from exercise, helps you to recover from trauma to the body. Omega-6 is a very important nutrient in the self-repair, specifically the self-repair mechanisms of the human body. So we don't want to not take any omega-6, right? We don't want to be avoiding omega-6 like the plague, as some people will recommend, because it's an essential fatty acid. The key with essential fatty acids is the balance. And when we're talking about the balance of essential nutrients, what this means is, remember, there are 90 essential nutrients. So in addition to getting omega-3 and omega-6, we need 60 minerals, 12 vitamins, 16 vitamins, and 12 amino acids. This is what we need. We need the full complement of all 90, which includes vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and essential fatty acids. And if we get all of them, then, life is going to be good, relatively speaking. And this is the key. The fundamental key here is the overarching, holistic preparation and assimilation and introduction of the nutrients into your body. You need all 90 essential nutrients, and this includes omega-3 and omega-6. So because omega-3 and omega-6 are oils, right, they oxidize. And this is our prohibition, our general prohibition against oil in a bottle. And if you've been paying attention, there are 10 bad foods that we recommend everybody stop consuming. One of those 10 bad foods is oil in a bottle. That's right, olive oil, salad dressing, peanut oil, coconut oil, canola oil. I don't care what kind of oil it is. If it's in a bottle, we recommend that you don't use it, because after a while the oil will oxidize and you will start to develop net negative benefits from the consumption of the oil. Nobody knows. That's a very difficult thing for the consumer to judge. When has the oil become so oxidized that it's no longer healthy for me? Well, it's hard to say. So because there's so much oil everywhere now because of this Mediterranean myth, we just recommend a blanket recommendation, just don't use it at all. However, omega-3 and omega-6 are essential oils. So what the heck? What are we going to do? We need some essential oils. How are we going to get them into the body? Well, that's easy. You're going to lean on the wisdom of Dr. Wallach, because Dr. Wallach has been one of the leading advocates for elimination of oil from the diet for a long, long time now. Dr. Wallach's been talking about this before anybody else. And since he's had a bead on this for a long time, and he knew that omega-3 and omega-6 are essential oils, he developed an ingenious workaround. So longevity essential fatty acids, the EFA and the EFA+, which are omega-3 and omega-6 oils, are produced in gelatin capsules. They're delivered in gelatin capsules, not in a bottle of oil, right? You can go to the health food store and buy a bottle of fish oil. You can buy a bottle of flax oil. You can buy a bottle of hemp oil if you want as a nutritional supplement. But we don't recommend that, because it's oil in a bottle, just like olive oil that's in a bottle. It doesn't matter what type of oil it is. If it's in a bottle, it's going to oxidize eventually. What we recommend is omega-3 and omega-6 in gel caps, which are nitrogenated. So Longevity's EFAs, and the product name in the catalog is either EFA or EFA+, and I'll tell you the difference there in a second. These two supplements are, when the actual oil is squirted into the gel cap, that's done in a nitrogen chamber. so the oil is completely unoxidized. So if any gas gets into that little gelatin capsule, it's nitrogen and not oxygen, which makes the oil 100% unoxidized. The only time that the Youngevity's essential fatty acids will start to oxidize is after you swallow them, and that's not a problema. It's no problem whatsoever. So again, this is the difference between thoughtful, sophisticated, produced nutritional supplement and just a nutritional supplement that's made by some yahoo with a laboratory and one research paper to back up what they do. This is, I think, perhaps we don't talk about this enough. We don't talk about this inside the Youngevity family enough because, quite frankly, we're so overwhelmed with the number of products that are here and with the gravity of Dr. Wallach's message. But the fact of the matter is that the Youngevity nutritional supplements are the recipes which inform the production of the supplements are extremely sophisticated. I mean, taking a Youngevity nutritional supplement is like going to a gourmet French restaurant. I mean, it's the difference between going to McDonald's and going to a gourmet French restaurant. It is so much better. The food is so much better at the gourmet restaurant. It's on a completely different plane of existence. Well, it's the same with the recipes of the nutritional supplements. And so when you have good recipes, made by licensed holistic physicians with decades of clinical work and millions of dollars of research to back up what they do, then you get remarkable results. And this is why Youngevity products deliver remarkable results, because the recipes are unmatched. Why are the recipes unmatched? Because they are informed by Dr. Joel Wallach. Now, one more thought about essential fatty acids before we go to the phones. Youngevity has two. They've got a number of different. There are a number of different essential fatty acid supplements inside of the Youngevity company. Some are made by Prohoba. There's Prohoba Omega. Some are made by Youngevity, and I believe Our Garden has some others. There's a whole host of essential fatty acid supplements. My favorite, of course, are the Youngevity supplements, because it was the Youngevity supplements that were informed by Dr. Wallach. So the difference between the EFA Plus and the EFAs, and the EFA Plus is a component of the Healthy Start Pack, the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the Healthy Digestion Pack, the Alex Pack. All of these Healthy Start Packs and their derivations all contain the EFA Plus, not the EFA, and there's a reason for that. Because the EFA Plus has more omega-3 than the EFAs do. The EFA Plus has more omega-3 than the EFAs do. And more omega-3 means more anti-inflammatory action inside the body. And think about it. Most chronic diseases have some component of inflammation present, right? If you've got arthritis, you've got inflammation. You've got fibromyalgia, you've got inflammation. You've got high blood pressure, atherosclerosis, ringing in the ears, you've got inflammation. Inflammation is just a component of most chronic illnesses. And so this is why the Healthy Start Packs, whatever their derivation, contain the EFA Plus, because we are attempting to put the fires out in the body at the same time that we're nutrifying the body, kind of like a 2-for-1, right? 2-for-1. And again, this is Dr. Wallach's wisdom. Really, the Healthy Start Pack and all of its derivations, the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, all of these packages are extremely sophisticated. And not only do they deliver the raw materials that the human body needs, the essential nutrients, in absorbable recipes, in doses dependent upon appropriate for your body weight, Not only do they do that, but you get extra added benefits as well. There's antioxidants available in the Healthy Start Pack. There's about 6,000 ORAC points of antioxidants in 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And you get extra anti-inflammatory bounce from the EFA Plus that's part of the Healthy Start Pack. This is, again, it's like watching a professional golfer or, somebody who's really good at what they do in sports. You watch these people on TV and you think, oh, that doesn't look so hard. And then you go out and try it yourself and it's like, oh, my God, you've got to be kidding me. I can't believe that they can make it look so effortless. Well, it's exactly the same with the vitamin formulations, the nutritional supplement formulations developed by Youngevity, through Dr. Wallach's recipes and Dr. Wallach's clinical experience and Dr. Wallach's research. You would be hard-pressed to come up with a recipe you couldn't do it. Couldn't do anything like this on your own unless you had a remarkable scientific background, which is why the Youngevity supplements produce such remarkable results relative to other nutritional supplements. There's only a handful of nutritional supplements in the whole world that have good quality control, like Youngevity. And of the vitamin companies that have good quality control, nobody has the recipes that Youngevity has. Nobody has that because nobody but Youngevity has Dr. Wallach. And when you combine those two things, really good quality control with most excellent recipes, you get nutritional supplements that work. And remember, what are we doing? We are supporting and promoting the body's ability to fix itself, right? Supporting and promoting the body's ability to fix itself. We're not healing a darn thing. God heals, right? What did Benjamin Franklin say? God heals and the doctor collects the fee, right? Yeah, it's your body that's fixing itself. So what do? We support and promote the body's ability to fix itself with world-class, sophisticated nutritional supplements. The devil's in the details, ladies and gentlemen. Take the Youngevity Healthy Start Pack and you will change your life. And we're going right to the phones. I believe Michelle is calling in with a question about a fungal infection. Welcome aboard, Michelle. You are live with Dr. Glidden.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. I just returned from a deployment to Kuwait, and I had trouble keeping my feet dry there due to just the heat and sweating. And so I've got a fungal infection, and I went to the doctor, and they're wanting to give me it's an oral antifungal medication, but she said it was hard on your liver. So I was wondering if there was anything else that could be done or something that I can do to help support the liver.
Well, yeah, that's a great question. So tough-actin Tinactin, all right? You want to just go to CVS and get Tinactin, which is an over-the-counter antifungal, and just spray the crap out of your feet with it, and spray it in your socks, spray it on your feet. Follow the directions, and that will go a long way towards helping kill the fungus. And this is a very interesting thing to talk about, Michelle, because I bet you didn't think I was going to say that, right? So here's the deal. Drugs are not a bad thing. Drugs are like guns. It's how the gun is used. There's nothing wrong with a gun. It's how it's used, right? It's the same with drugs. Sometimes drugs are really great and really appropriate. One of the most appropriate uses for drugs is for antifungals topically. Now, you don't have a fungal infection on your feet because you have feet. You have a fungal infection on your feet because of the stress that you put your feet under while you were in that environment. For goodness sake, if I lived in a swamp, I would be more inclined to get pneumonia just because that's what that environment kind of induces, So if I lived at the Arctic Circle, I would it'd be pretty easy for me to get frostbite just because that comes with the territory. So when you develop something from extreme situational stress, which this would have been, which is different than just, living in the United States, going about your business, and then you get a bad fungal infection, that's a different story. when you're in an environment that induces fungal infections and you get a fungal infection, well, what the heck? So, in that situation, we come in with the topical stuff, the topical antifungals. And because everything's connected in the human body, because the skin, of course, is connected to the rest of the body. By the way, the skin is the largest organ in the human body. That's a very interesting thing to talk about. The skin is the largest organ in the human body. Because the skin is involved and because the skin is just one piece of the greater whole, while you're doing the topical antifungals, you also want to be supporting and promoting the health of your whole system. And how we support and promote the health of the entire system is with the holistic method. And the holistic method is the same for everybody as far as general systemic healthy support, right? So the recommendation here, in addition to the sprayed-on topical antifungal, would be 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of ultimate selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. If you do those 2 things, it will go a long, long way towards strengthening your body on the inside so that it can assist the antifungal in the elimination of the fungal infection on the outside, because it's all connected. Now, if you just did the Healthy Start Pack, this probably wouldn't, it might go away, but it might take a really long time. I wouldn't think that you would have to deal with this for more than 14 days once you start the Healthy Start Pack. And again, because this is just a skin thing, it's an external skin thing. It's like a burn or poison ivy. This was because of exposure, right? This isn't something like eczema or psoriasis that happened from an internal problem. This was an external exposure thing. But even though it was from an external exposure thing, we think holistically and we support the body holistically because, everything's connected. So even though this was an external insult to the skin, which then kind of latched on and grabbed hold, you need to support the internal workings of the human body also, because for goodness sake, everything is connected. And now the benefits to this, Michelle, are that once you get on board with the healthy nutrition, arguably, it will be the first time in your adult life, probably the first time in your entire life, that your body has had all of the raw materials that it needs to fix itself. And that's a game changer. So by going on our diet, avoiding the 10 bad foods, and taking the Healthy Start Pack and the selenium, appropriate for your body weight, switches are going to be flipped on that have been dormant or turned off for decades. And your sleep should get better, your energy should get better, little aches and pains should get better, menstrual cycle should get better, mood and concentration should get better. Everything should brighten up, especially if you've been deployed in the military in parts of the world that are really hot and you're sweating a lot. Because when you're sweating a lot, you're sweating out a mineral soup, a nutrient soup, not just salt and potassium. So, and my colleague, Dr. Wallach, who is the founder of this company, is a colonel in the Air Force. And Dr. Wallach says, there's 2 ways that you can give your life for the country. One is on the battlefield, and the other is at the VA. So really, we need to be careful about what you're going to do here with conventional medicine, because their treatments are currently the leading cause of death in the United States. And as far as I'm concerned, they don't know their you-know-what from their elbow when it comes to most things medical. So lean on our advice. Please go to fireyourmdnow.com. Opt in for my free monthly newsletter. When you do that, you'll get an email automatically sent to your inbox that has the 10 bad foods in it, and a little video that explains why they're bad and explains about the gluten-free diet. And call one of my associates, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696, and check out the Healthy Start Pack and the selenium. and you're going to love how that makes you feel. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck. Thanks for your service, and call us back with a report. And by the way, if you take this stuff while you're deployed, you will be the envy of everybody in your unit because you will have more energy, more stamina than anybody in your unit. And it's no different than driving a car that's been tuned up and driving a car that's not been tuned up. The car that's tuned up runs 1,000,000 times better, especially when you put extracurricular stress on it, like being deployed. So thanks for your service, Michelle, and thanks for the phone call. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. I just came back. I lecture a lot all around the country. I just came back from Mississippi. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody down there in Mississippi. We didn't have any boiled peanuts. I tell you, we did not have any boiled peanuts this time, but there was so much fried food down there, you could shake a stick and hit something fried. Down in the South, man, fried food is like a religion, and this is the reason why the shortest lifespans of anybody in the United States is in the South, because of all the fried food. In fried food, there's a nasty chemical called acrylamide, and acrylamide causes cancer, it causes inflammation, and it remarkably shortens your lifespan. So, we had a very interesting time down there in Mississippi. Some of the friendliest people I've ever met, right up there with the Trinidadians. I mean, the people in Trinidad were so unbelievably friendly. It was like I was on another planet. Well, they're kissing cousins, or the people in the South. I don't know. It must be all that. A warm climate just makes people really super friendly. So I'd like to give a shout out to the folks down in Mississippi for extending myself a very warm welcome. I had a great time, and hopefully we got her done. Got her done down there. I talked for 5 hours. People hung out with me for 5 hours, and, they could have stayed for more, I think. This is how hungry people are for this type of information. But I want to share a story that one of the longevity associates told me down there. Her father was having a number of health conditions, and specifically, I cannot remember. I think it was blood pressure, and I think it was blood sugar, and it might have been with some arthritic pain. I can't remember specifically. It was one of those three. It was two of those three: blood pressure, blood sugar, and arthritic pain. And he started the longevity products and the diet, and everything started to improve remarkably and noticeably, right? A couple of months later, he went back to his MD for a follow-up checkup, and the MD ran the numbers, ran the blood work, took the x-rays, did the blood pressure, whatever they did. And the MD himself saw that there was remarkable improvement. And the MD said, well, Joe, I don't know what it is that you're doing, but it looks like it's working. I want you to keep on doing it. And Joe said, all right, Doc, I feel great. I've never felt better. This is the best I've felt in my adult life. And then the doctor said, oh, by the way, what is it that you're doing? And Joe said, well, I've taken vitamins and minerals and nutritional supplements, and I've changed my diet. And then the doctor says, without batting an eyelash, vitamins? Well, you need to stop those. Don't take your vitamins. Don't take that stuff. That's all snake oil. That stuff doesn't work. It's impossible for that stuff to work. I want you to stop taking all that stuff right now. In the same breath, in the same sentence, in the same 2 minutes. This is, I couldn't make this stuff up if I wanted to, for goodness sake. I couldn't make this type of hypocrisy up if I wanted to. But this is the mindset of your MD, ladies and gentlemen. It's hypocrisy on parade. It's stubbornness on parade. It is old-fashioned, dyed-in-the-wool, tooth and nail dogma, which is unflinching even in the face of evidence. These people a tiger will not change his stripes. Bringing your body with a chronic disease to an MD is a fool's errand. Especially if that MD is over, 60 years of age, over 50 years of age. And, I've seen more kind of staunch, intractable, heels in the dirt dogma it gets worse the further south you get. It gets worse the further south you get in the United States, unless, of course, you're in New England, in and around Harvard University, and those people think their you-know-what doesn't stink. They've got a healthy dose of dogma topped off with a fudge sauce of arrogance, which is breathtaking in its grandiosity, quite frankly. But my point is, these people are hypocritical to a fault and have no problem being hypocritical to a fault, and they are completely blind to anything other than drugs and surgery. So remember, you got to take the right dog to the hunt. You can't expect, to take a Chihuahua duck hunting and come back with ducks. You're going to come back empty-handed if you do that. You have to take the right dog to the hunt. When it comes to a chronic illness, the right dog for the hunt is medical nutrition, developed and delivered through science-based, clinically verified methods through licensed naturopathic physicians. That would be us. This Saturday, Dr. Glidden is going to be in Miami, Florida at the Blue Lagoon, baby. Actually, no, I'm going to be at the Homewood Suites by Hilton at 5500 Blue Lagoon Drive, given a seminar, a 4 or 5 hour seminar starting at 11 o'clock. Registration begins at 10:30 actually. For details, please go to fireyourmdnow.com and click on the event schedule. If you have friends or family or church members or old college buddies, whatever, in Miami, forward them the event information. These events are always free. They're free 100% of the time. And this is how we populate our message of health recovery through medical nutrition through free live health lectures, through webinars. I do 2 webinars a week, through the radio, my radio program, Dr. Wallach's radio program. I'll be guest hosting Dr. Wallach's radio program tomorrow, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And tomorrow on Dead Doctors Don't Lie, it's going to be all business all day. We're not going to take any callers tomorrow on Dr. Wallach's show. We're going to talk to the muckety-mucks in longevity about the business opportunity. It's going to be a little roundtable discussion about the business opportunity tomorrow on Dead Doctors Don't Lie. So if you have people in your life that want to know about the business opportunity, tomorrow's show on Dead Doctors Don't Lie, right here on the Genesis Communication Network, you're not going to want to miss that. And later on this week, tomorrow night is Tuesday, I have a webinar, and my Introduction to Longevity webinar. And then this Wednesday night, it's going to be a health webinar, and I'm going to be talking about phytates this Wednesday night. Phytates. What phytates are and why they are inappropriate to foods that contain phytates, why they are inappropriate to eat when you're taking mineral supplements. Because remember, what you don't know will hurt you or will heal you. And when it comes to health and nutrition, for goodness sake, it's just everything. We don't know, because we haven't been taught any of this at all. I mean, I wasn't even taught any of this until I met Dr. Wallach, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. And for goodness sake, once you start to do the right stuff, you get remarkable results. I mean, I'm a golfer, right? I love to golf. And to tell you a little story about golfing, man, it's a lot harder than it looks, and especially putting. Putting is a completely different game. It is a completely different game than the rest of golf. There's the drives and the fairway woods and the iron shots, but when your ball's on the green and you're trying to get it in that little hole, putting, I don't care if you can bomb it 3,000 million miles with your driver. If you can't putt, you're done. And putting is a very challenging thing to do. And there are techniques that you can do when you're putting the ball which just make it horrible. But when you figure it out, when you dial in the right technique, man, it is so easy, and it just goes where you want it to go, and life is good. Well, it's the same with the business opportunity, with nutrition, with everything having to do with all of the information that we're talking about, right? When you get the right information, it'll change your life in a minute. It'll change your life in a minute, in a moment. We deliver eureka experiences for people because we give them information that is so far outside of the box that when they get it, little lights go off. You can see little lights going on in people's heads all around the room. I had no idea about that, Dr. Glidden. Well, right, you're right, you didn't. And that's why I'm so glad you came to this webinar. That's why I'm so glad that you came to this live event. That's why I'm so glad your longevity associate took a chance, opened their mouth, and invited you here. We're building a grassroots coalition of the informed, ladies and gentlemen. We do it with webinars. We do it with live events. We do it with radio. We do it with an army of longevity distributors handing out CDs and audio cassettes and showing people the YouTube videos and everything that we're up to. We need your help. So tune in tomorrow at fireyourmdnow.com and check me out tomorrow. I'll be on Dead Doctors Don't Lie talking about the business opportunity. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Over and out.